Hi, my name is Eddie Lee, and I'm an artist based here in Los Angeles. I am primarily a portrait painter or a fine artist. A lot of my work is done using acrylic paint on birch panel. I was originally born in Seoul, Korea, but my family immigrated over when I was really young, at the age of 1. And my dad traveled a lot for work at the time, so we ended up in Colorado at one point and made our way to Washington State, and that's pretty much where I grew up. You know, because we moved around the country a lot. My dad was hardly ever home. So me and my brother, we kind of raised ourselves, and when you spend a lot of time alone, it really breeds your imagination, especially at a younger age. So between that and moving around from town to town where it's really hard to establish friendships, you know, I spent a lot of time isolated, and in that isolation I drew, and that really helped to, I guess, foster the creative side in my younger years. I've had every job, like food service, retail, banking. My last job was actually at a art college. I was a counselor there. I think that's what kind of gave me the push. I worked mainly with you know, high school age students coming in. This is they're looking at college, they're thinking about life, you know, a future career path, and they're bright-eyed, they're creative. And the more that I met with them, it was like a reminder to myself, like, hey, I used to be this kid too, you know? But then here I am, like on the other side of the desk, you know, looking all official, and you know, all the creativity's gone. And that really started to wear on me. And then it's when you realize that you're supposed to be doing something, or you're meant to do something, and you sort of accept that, and then you dive into it. So a lot of people think I just like dropped everything and said, oh, you know, I'm gonna move to LA and be an artist, but it wasn't like that. Everything, there was a process that led up to it. Like I was working full-time but doing art on the side to see if people even liked it. And then once that started doing okay, I was like, well, maybe I have a chance. And then you know, I was always involved with the creative stuff. So I had saved up money at the time that I moved down. I wasn't in debt, so it was a risk, but it was a calculated risk. When I first moved down, I didn't have a gallery, or nobody really knew my work. So I literally set up on the Venice Beach Boardwalk. It's meeting the local people there, and they were really responding to my work. And this is, again, the first time I'm showing my work to the general public here in Los Angeles. And so for them to respond positively, I'll always remember that. Like, it felt validating, like, maybe I have a chance here. I was also reading the art magazines, and there was one artist in particular. She's an LA-based painter named Audrey Kawasaki. She paints a lot of the same thing, women on wood, but it was very striking. A lot of emotion in the painting. You know, it's something that you felt right away. And in my mind, I was like, this is the kind of art that resonates with me, and this is the kind of art that I want to do. Because I think I'm fascinated with the idea of, like, for example, the women that I paint, there's a mystery to them. And this is even before I started painting. It was something that always fascinated me. I could be walking across the street and you could make eye contact with a woman, or she might be sitting at a park somewhere, and it's this quiet moment where you see something there. There's something behind the eyes, and that can be something damaged or hopeful or lost, or maybe even something seductive. But and I might never see these people again, but I think in that moment it's so rich with the visual narrative. There's always a story there, and so I never run out of ideas in that way. I did want to make that statement that I am a Korean American artist, you know, because you know, in terms of art and paintings, so often the artist is removed. It's basically their work that's front and center, and the identity of the individual sometimes takes a backseat to that. But that was something I was very conscious of. I want people to know that I'm Korean American. It's just something that I'm proud of. You know, it is definitely a career path that I don't know about now because things are changing, but when I was growing up, it was very rare. You know, I didn't really have any role models to look up to in terms of what I'm doing now. And I felt like I had this responsibility to sort of like inject my own identity into this underrepresented career path, for Korean Americans at least. I think the most important thing now that I've been doing this for a while, and I've met a lot of friends, like fellow artists who I really respect, I think first and foremost I want to do the work for myself, because this is what I'm making a living doing. I mean, it's more than just passion. It's something that you develop an obsession for. So it's about getting better and doing it the right way, and along with that is the recognition and the respect from my peers also. So it's balancing, is what I'm doing making sense? Do I feel good about it? And am I doing right? Am I being respected by the community that I have a lot of respect for? You know, all the other things are just kind of like a fringe benefit. If I become successful, awesome. If I make a lot of money, you know, of course that's, who wouldn't want that? But I wake up each day with the same sort of mindset. You know, this is just something that I got to do. Yeah, I think it's about sacrifice. You know, I think anybody can do anything they want, but it's about what you're willing to give up to get to that point and being realistic about that. Because passion only gets you so far. You know, you have to wake up to this reality every day. And if it's not in line with the expectations that you have, then you're not going to get very far.